Eminence, we're going to talk about Pa Frederick Mobang. He was your teacher in Kumbu Diocese.
Oh, he taught me when he was the headmaster in Shisam Boys Primary School. And in my extreme youth, we knew him as a disciplinarian. He was so disciplined that as kids, I was in Standard 1. We went to a stream early in the morning at 5 o'clock. The stream is called Ngonsu. I don't know why that name. And with him, we were watching Bui early in the mornings, and it was so cold. But he too, he was in his pants. He also took a cold bath, very cold bath with us. We were in the stream at about 5 o'clock in the morning. Had to rush back to the dormitory and lined up to go to Mass at 6 o'clock. As long as he was there, because our primary school in Chisholm was a boarding school. We came from villages and we were staying there. We only went back to villages in order to get corn flour for the week. So I knew Pa Mobang very well. He also taught me in Mankan Primary School. He was the agricultural master of the primary school. And agriculture was for him the all and be all. And I still remember the day he came to me, he gave me 24 strokes. And according to him, I was a proud boy.
Why was that so?
I could not touch cow dung with my hands. And compost pit was a mixing of cow dung and green grass for artificial manure for the gardens. But I left Bamenda with my sister, who was quite older than myself, married already, left with her husband on transfer to Boya. I only saw Pa Mobang again when I was being ordained.
What year was that, Eminence?
I was ordained in 1966 in Mankan. And the one thing that struck me when I went for further studies, came back and was teaching in Bambwe, Major St. Mary. He saw in me a future bishop, as he told me. Bishop Paul was our bishop in Mankan. I think you should be a bishop in Kumbo.
That's what Pa Mobang told you.
He told me this jokingly.
Right.
When I became a bishop in reality for the Diocese of Yagua, I came from Rome directly to Bamenda, and Pa Mobang was at the head of a group of Christians who came to welcome me in Santa. So I've never forgotten from that time on. Anytime I'm in Bamenda on holidays, when I was already in Yagua, I always visited him. And when he died, I was told I was already in Douala. So I decided that I would preside the burial. So I presided his burial. And we knew him as somebody who loved the church. And that is why he's giving a special praise near the cathedral. It's only priests who are buried near the cathedral, but Pa Mobang's grave he was the first, I think, to be buried in that area, apart from the cemetery. So that's how I knew him.
This project in Jangma, the Mater Redemptory Shrine, have you visited that?
I've visited, I've been there. Before it was built as it is, as soon as he started building, when I visited him in his house, not far, some meters from the cathedral, he spoke to me about it, and I went there discreetly. On the hilltop there, that was a wonderful gift he made to the Diocese of Bamenda. It's become today the Pilgrim Center, where people go also for retreats. And from that point you can see all Birmingham town low-lying before you want. So I've been there, I think about once or twice.
And his children want to, keep it alive, to keep it going.
Yes, their father made a gift to the diocese. And I'm sure he spent more because the statues are of human size. And they came from Italy, I think so. So the children are following on the footsteps of their father by continuing with their father to make sure that the place is worth its name as a powerful spiritual center for the Archdiocese of Birmingham. And I think the Archbishop is very, very grateful for that gift. I hear they want to develop things there again. Because I heard the bishop wants to appoint a priest, the archbishop wants to appoint a priest who will be there as a spiritual father of the center when all is built up with a residence for a priest. I think I encourage them every time they come to see me to talk about it. I encourage them and thank them in the name of the church.
So what kind of message will you give to the people in Birmingham who probably don't know about the place?
The diocese and the Christians will show that they are grateful by using the place and by keeping the place going. But you do not have to be financing all the time, I think. You should become, as I advised one of them, who is like the head of the group of the family, say do nothing there without the bishop, because now the diocesan property, and then time will come when they will be tired, but that center will be there till Christ comes again. So therefore the keeping up of the center will fall on the shoulders of the Archdiocese of Birmingham. And therefore the Christians should decide that any time they make a pilgrimage, there should be offerings, and that the center should have its own account for the continuous upkeeping of the center. So that's my advice to the people, and they're making the best use of it. Pilgrimage, a center of pilgrimage. They should make the best use of it. And I think they're doing it. I've seen the images, pictures of Christians on pilgrimage to that center. If you are there, you feel really as if you are already in heaven, because you are away from every noise, Unlike Christ, Christ had the habit of going to pray in the mountain, withdrawing from the crowd, and then going to pray with his apostles on the mountain. And the mountain gives one a certain spiritual push. So I think the best sign of gratitude would be the use of that center.
And to Pa Mobang's children?
The church will forever be grateful to the children, because there are cases also when the father begins something like that when he dies, the children tend to withdraw a bit. And I'm happy that for their case it is the contrary. They want to make the place still better and better for the best spiritual use of them. I wish they continue with that spirit of their father.
Oh, hail the power of Jesus' name, let angels prostrate fall. Bring forth the